Hi guys.
Hello.
Welcome back to Chilled.
This is like a crash on the couch with us, and we recap and tell you about our lives, catch you up.
It's gonna be fun. It's like a sit-down vlog.
Because Hannah didn't remember to vlog during the camping trip or anything.
Well, we would have to get people's permission.
That's
That's just a pain because there's like 20 people.
Like 25, yeah.
So in case our Q&A was too long, we thought we would just film this the same day, but we're not sure if our Q&A might be too long by itself to put this on the end. So this might be a separate video. Maybe extra, maybe not. Don't know the plan for sure yet. But that's why we're in the same outfits. We're literally just 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
So we went on a camping trip with our young adult group, and there's about 20 people, and it was amazing and life-changing and incredible. And
oh, it's so good.
one of those things that you date from for years to come.
I forgot about that phrase, but it's very applicable to the camping trip.
So we stayed at a campgrounds called Gerald Cove.
Yeah, in Washington. Is it Washington?
Definitely Washington.
Is it Washington? I'm sorry, guys. I got like very limited, like 3 hours of sleep a night while we were there, so I'm very sleep deprived.
And it was very pretty. I didn't take that many pictures because most of the time we had no cell service, so most of the time I didn't have my phone with me, and I was just trying to kind of live in the moment. But I got some pictures on one of the trails. There was this cool tree that was like a whole bunch of roots coming out of the ground, and I took some pictures of it. They weren't good pictures, but I took some pictures of it that maybe you're seeing on the screen now. I mean, it's
you would definitely be seeing on the screen.
We have more scenic pictures from.
We were camping by this lake. Not really a lake, it was part of the sound.
Well, we were on an island.
Where I was taking the pictures from was kind of like treed areas, but there was usually like these gaps between trees that you could see through. Anyhow, the water was really pretty with the sun. I just wanted to take some pictures through the little holes in the trees. So the other pictures that I have here are from some of the activities that we did. So obviously we can't include any of the pictures with our friends in them. Very sad because I would want you to meet our friends because they're awesome.
Well, I mean, technically we could, but we'd have to ask them, and we don't have permission, right? And blah blah blah.
But one of the games was we were trying to split open a watermelon by putting rubber bands around it, like several at a time, until you have like this massive wad around the watermelon, and the pressure forces it to explode. Apparently Slow-Mo guys did it on their channel. I haven't seen it, but apparently it's awesome. So we did it, and we did 2 teams, and like whichever team, won, just I guess glory, fame. And Abby and Katie's team won. My team lost. But then
But who's the real winner?
I know, right? Because we all had to clean up the mess.
Well, our team won, but then they took some of the rubber bands from our watermelon and started putting it on theirs. So theirs broke more legitimately because ours, we kind of like knocked it against the table.
Oh, really? I
didn't know that. because we had no more rubber bands, so we were like,
cheaters!
We
ran out of rubber bands, and we were just trying to move them.
Oh, we did that too, but nothing happened. And so they just like, it was basically just like knocked over. Like
right.
It wasn't really that much. And so then the top blew off. But after the top blew off, we were holding it, and it exploded.
It exploded everywhere. It exploded up like on the roof of the shelter that was like several feet away.
But then you took some of our rubber bands, and that's how you exploded. Right.
Because we couldn't move our rubber bands enough to a central point to get it to explode.
Yeah, we just needed probably 50 more rubber bands per watermelon, and it would be perfect.
It was super fun. It exploded all over everywhere. The second watermelon, some people got on slow-mo. This is this really random picture, but we were trying to get more light around the giant circle of 26 people that we had when we were doing things at night. So someone came up with the idea of using an empty water carton that we had, and somehow they tied a flashlight to the top. And
no, they put the flashlight inside it.
Yeah, they put the flashlight inside it, but it was like tied. It was really...
And then they hung it on a tree.
It was like really like survivalist, only about a flashlight. I mean, you can see it's like they cut off like the top and somehow attached the flashlight inside. It got a huge kick out of it.
And then we had a night with s'mores, and they taught us how to make banana boats. And so I made my first banana boat. It was very
really
good.
Good. I had to buy it first.
It would have been better with almond butter. The marshmallows melted and got all on the foil, basically, so I had to put it in some more.
It's kind of ugly when it's all cooked.
It looks kind of ugly right now, but it was good.
You should try doing it at home in foil in the oven. It wouldn't be as good as a campfire. We can like perfect it, and you can all see something. And one day, my friend offered to do my hair because she loves to do hair, and I love to have my hair done. So I'm gonna insert some pictures of my hair from both sides. She French braided both sides and then combined the two braids to be one braid down the back. She's a genius.
What are the pictures I took? Oh yes, they are. I took them in a parking lot, and it looks like the middle of the day. I don't know how.
Because I forgot to have someone take pictures of it before when it was daylight, and it would have been great lighting. But
it worked out. One thing that we did, I'll play the sentence game.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that you had these.
And so I thought that maybe we could read one of them.
So if you haven't heard of the sentence game before, it's where everyone who's playing, so in our case there's like 10 to 15 people playing, and everyone has a sheet of paper and they write one sentence, and then you pass it around the circle and everyone writes one sentence, but you keep folding the piece of paper so that each person only gets to see what the person before them wrote. They don't get to have any of the rest of the context of the story. So they have to go off of only what one person wrote and continue the story. So it gets really funny. You have random characters that don't really exist being brought into the story. And characters changing names, and it gets really ridiculous and funny. That is going to mess with the audio, but that's okay.
It's okay, we're all relaxed.
Right, we're on our chill.
Our sister's vacuuming downstairs, and you could probably hear it. Okay. David was a normal boy, or so his mother thought. I wish I could have a recording of Sam's.
Our friend did such a good job narrating this.
I can't even do it justice.
He's a very good narrator.
Actually, how about this? How about you and I go back and forth so that people know when the break is?
Okay.
Okay.
Why don't you start it over?
Yes. David was a normal boy, or so his mother thought. What she didn't know was that he concealed a superpower.
You would never guess it to look at me, said David to his virtual diary, Lionel, but I can shoot food from my hands.
No way, gasped the diary named Lionel. So can I. When I was human, anyway.
I used to run marathons back then, sighed the dresser, Rosie.
But I stopped running marathons after the accident, Rosie stated quietly.
I understand, said Gandalf. But the Shire needs your help. Sam needs your help. You have more strength than you think, Rosie.
Cut! Peter Jackson walked quickly off set, looking for the nearest Starbucks. For the pumpkin spice latte finally made it to New Zealand, and Peter was feeling basic.
Then zombies appeared and killed Peter Jackson, devastating the rest of the cast and striking terror in their hearts.
Most started running in all directions, while a brave few stood their ground and fought against the walking dead.
Larry was one of the brave souls who stood against the zombie hordes that day, and his heroic deeds would be retold by the survivors for years to come.
Heroic deeds, they said. Such a great guy, they said.
If only they knew the truth. I was a giant duck all along. Pretending to be a human isn't all it's quacked up to be.
Then on Sunday afternoon, we all drove down to Salem to watch the eclipse. One of our members used to live in Salem, and so he made arrangements with the church that he used to go to, and they kindly offered to let us sleep overnight in the church, which is amazing because it didn't cost us anything, and as you probably have heard, the price for staying places the eclipse areas were just insane. So,
stupid expensive.
Do you have any pictures of that? Because I
don't think so.
I have a video clip of the shadow dance.
I have a couple of clips during the eclipse, during totality. They don't really... I'll try inserting them, seeing how they edit out. A, with the front-facing camera, and B, it just looked like the sun at, like, on a cloudy day or something. It didn't look
Sunshine.
like... Because I didn't have special equipment.
Both of
You
us.
guys want to come over to the white thing for when it says shadow bands?
Okay. Luke,
Huh?
what is shadow bands?
It's the little rippling lines on the ground.
Is it before the beats or after the beats?
Before. Beads is last. So go to shadow bands, standing beads, I think. And then obviously backwards.
Total eclipse of the heart. All because I want to get our reactions.
Oh, good.
Here, you can have it until it's like total.
Actual snakes are coming down from the sky.
Where is it coming from?
It's raining snakes.
Oh my gosh, it's so dark now.
I want that.
Oh.
Oh, this really is like a dream.
Because that way you can see the little things if you wanted to try.
This is so wrong!
Is your app still running in the background, Hannah?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, Daddy can tell us too. Daddy, is your app is still running, right?
The natural show got created.
Oh, dude, speaking.
Is it just me?
What?
I see it.
What?
Really close.
Bailey Beach soon.
Oh my gosh, it's getting stronger
We're
though.
about a minute from, or half a minute from totality.
Whoa, the shadow bands are so strong now.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
I don't know what to look at.
I know.
I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
Guys, look around us.
Oh my word.
watch it, watch it, watch it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my word. Yes. What? Oh my gosh. It's so not gonna come on, but.
I missed the diamond ring. Did you see it?
Work.
No, I didn't. But we'll see it on the way out too.
Yeah.
Hey, there's
The Corona. What is that?
Oh, look at the stars. Oh my word, look at. Oh my word.
Look at this light.
So cool.
Daddy, and the food is
Yes.
That is so.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
People missed out on not getting the total. 93% not.
I know.
Right.
Now I'm really glad I went all the way down for the total.
Okay,
And
be
for as
prepared to
long as
put
you
your
get it,
glasses back on.
Yes.
Dark as I thought it was gonna be.
That's when it
Yeah.
If you guys-
It's like dusk. Like. Wow. I can't believe. Yeah, I know.
I wish it showed up on your camera.
I know. Wait, glasses on.
Yeah.
Wow.
The shadow bands are back.
Oh, you're right. Woo!
Oh, shadow bands are back. Shadow bands are back.
It's like the sun's rising, like in
Oh
speed.
my gosh, this is like a time lapse. Woo! Woo!
Shadow bands. Still got shadow bands. Reserved for.
Look at the shadows again.
Yeah.
Are they on the?
On here. Yeah, look at that.
So cool.
Look how fast it comes back.
I'm
Oh my word.
so happy we saw the shadow bands. I'm
too.
so happy.
It was so cool to like be able to watch it come back.
Occasionally, as occasional
Yeah,
artificial phenomenon at eclipses.
that was so weird. Yeah,
That's so weird.
I know. It goes so fast that like right at the bit.
See those Bailey beads.
I didn't either. It went so fast.
That's because I think it was just too far away for us to see.
I got a 360 of the horizon at totality. Sorry, I took it vertically because I was not thinking about putting it in this video.
Oh my gosh, They also saw the shadow bands, which
Yes.
is really cool. But if you don't know what it is, we'll leave a link below down to a YouTube video by an awesome channel called Smarter Every Day. It's fascinating. And he explains about all the different things that you can see during an eclipse, and it makes sense, and it's way better than if I tried to explain it to you. But we saw it, and they were very cool.
Well, I got a video of it, which it kind of looks basically like heat waves or something, like radiating down the sheet. We'll insert a clip of the end. Like I videotaped for a long time because I wasn't sure how long. We'll just show you the clip where you can actually see it right now.
Whoa, the shadow bands are so strong now.
Oh my
Whoa.
gosh. I don't know what to look at. I know.
Guys, looking around us.
Oh my word.
Guys, look at this.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Look at this. Oh, look at the blinking. Watch it.
When we replayed the video for them, some people couldn't see it, so you might not be able to see it, but
If you saw it in person, I think you definitely will be able to see it. My mom was able to see it, and she wasn't there. She was at home with the dogs.
and it did get cold very fast. There was a wind, and so as it was eclipsing, it got colder, and the wind got colder, obviously. But then at totality, the wind died down, which was very weird, and I didn't notice it until afterwards when the wind picked back up again, and I'm like, why was I less cold during totality when it would be like at its coldest? But it was cold, but there wasn't any wind, which was fascinating. Now should we talk about the drive home?
We can talk about the drive home. I have some pictures if you want.
I think it took us 13 hours to get home.
I can also show you, there's a clip of the parking lot or not the parking lot. It was a parking lot, basically. It's gas station and parking lot.
Gas station became a parking lot.
Right, literally. We had to cut someone off to get in. And because basically we would have had to go down the line, and I don't even know where the end of the line was. So we basically just had to be really rude.
But, I mean, that was happening all over with the eclipse traffic. I can show you these pictures that I took while we were driving at the very worst part for us, which was where it took us about 3.5 hours to go about 3 to 4 miles. It was a T intersection, and the cars were backed up all down both sides of the T, and the people who were trying to turn into the already bumper-to-bumper traffic were doing just like what she said. They just had to be rude because no one was really moving, and no one wanted to let anyone in because, goodness gracious, that one car space that you got every 3 minutes was vital. But people were turning off their cars and just parking there while they waited for traffic to move. My friend and I got out of the car, and we walked down the road and picked blackberries and filled a half-a-gallon bag with blackberries. And then, yeah, and then walked back. We walked quite a ways.
My car was moving more consistently, but we were moving in the wrong direction. So we were going east, and we wanted to go north. So it was slow, and we didn't move very often, but we moved faster than that.
Yeah.
But we ended up behind them, so. I also have some cool sunset pictures. We had a debate about this Texaco, whether it was a Texaco or whether it was some guy's house with a sign that said Texaco just because he liked collecting old signs. But I think my vote is it looked like the sign looked like it had been there. It didn't look like it was just leaning up against the wall. It looked like it was in there. So I'm guessing it was old Texaco that is no longer a Texaco. But the sign is
But they kept the sign because it was cool. We were going through farmland, legit.
Sprinklers that look cool, I think. I'm not exactly sure.
We were in that area where we were just basically parked and doing nothing. There were some very thoughtful and entrepreneurial souls who had bought ice cream bars and popsicles and water and Gatorade and all sorts of stuff stocked up. And they would load themselves down with they would load down bikes or backpacks, bags, and they would walk from car to car and sell them to people. And of course it's really hot. Everyone is cranky, and so it was like perfect. And there were people like selling stuff by the side of the road as well. You know, the farms that we passed, and they would like pull out their wares and sell it to the cars because the cars are just parked there doing nothing. But of course the ice cream bars went like crazy. We didn't get any. I do have pictures of a couple of places that my friend and I passed when we were walking. And I just thought this picture was cool because it said Narnia Farms, and I'm a big Narnia fan. And so it just made me wonder if they were Narnia fans. I don't know why you would name it Narnia Farms if you weren't, but.
So that's about it. Unless you want to see a picture of my pizza, you want to see a picture of my pizza?
Oh, and my pizza too!
You can see a picture.
So some of the people from our young adult group wanted to go and see the eclipse, and some of the people didn't. So the people who wanted to go and see the eclipse carpooled down to Salem, Oregon, and Abby and me and our sister Katie carpooled down with two of our friends. Had the best time driving down there. It was awesome. We got there super. It was definitely one of the best parts of the trip, if not the best. And then we got there super earlier than everyone else in the carpool, like hours. And so
because they took the scenic route and stopped for lunch and stuff, and they
had to drop people off at places.
We took lunch at.
Most of us had lunch before.
We had lunch.
Some people had lunch.
I had lunch partly before, partly on the road. And the person that had the key, or the person that had our friend who used to live in Salem, was not in our car. So we
were locked out of the church.
We were locked out of the church. But we knew going into it that might happen.
It was right around dinner time, so the five of us went out to dinner, like just down the street to
walking distance.
Yeah, we just walked to dinner at a place called Mod Pizza, which if you live in the U.S., you probably have heard of it. It's like,
or at least on the West Coast.
Yeah, I think it's all across. But it's like a make your own pizza place. It's kind of like Chipotle, only for pizza. Yeah. After you watch our Q&A, Mod Pizza is the one exception to thin crust. It was amazing. Pizza.
Do you want to explain what you had?
Yes, I had their pizza crust, which is just like standard. I had corn and mushrooms and chicken and roasted Brussels sprouts and bacon. And then I forget whatever cheese, probably mozzarella, whatever cheese it was that they had. And then they cook it, and then they have several different like toppings that you can drizzle on top.
With white sauce, right?
Oh yeah, of course with white sauce. That goes without saying. And so I had them drizzle on the balsamic fig reduction on top of it, and it was awesome. It was very messy, especially because it didn't cut all the way through. So I was basically tearing my pizza, and then my hands ended up all sticky, which...
Hannah had this huge pile of napkins by the end.
Very embarrassing.
No, it wasn't.
Well, I mean, it was embarrassing when I went to give my friend a high five, and my hand is literally like a sticky...
Yeah, he didn't care.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of mine. Mine is outrageously superior.
No,
it was one
hers was less messy. That's the only thing. Mine was better.
Look at it.
Mine was
Tell me
better.
which one's better.
But
Comment down
everyone
below which one's
knows
better.
the ugly pizza. The ugly food is always the one that tastes better.
Yours had Brussels sprouts on it. I don't
Brussels sprouts were amazing. I thought they were gonna be awful, but they were gonna be like on pizza.
It's white sauce, chicken, sausage, tomatoes, red onions, and mozzarella and Asiago cheese.
Yum.
Yeah, mine was.
But mine's
better.
better. Who has tomatoes
Yum.
and sausage on their pizza? I mean, really? You got bacon and mushrooms.
It was one of their preset ones, with added mozzarella. I don't remember what it was called, but it had some person's name. I think if you walk in, you'll see it. We got to the church.
Where we started the carpool from.
Right. We got to that church at 1:30ish in the morning. We left Salem at 12:30.
We got home to our house at 2:30.
So I didn't get to bed until like 4:45.
I didn't get to bed till 4.
Right.
Because I cannot leave my stuff packed, or at least most of it. I have to unpack most of it when I get home.
Well, and it actually didn't
I
take
can't sleep.
long to unpack. It was just like talking and stuff.
Trying to unwind, even though like we'd had
And eating.
Yeah. Because of course by that time you're hungry again.
When we first left Salem, it said we were going to get home at 6. Well, it said we were going to get to Olympia at 6.
None of us believed it, and we were making bets on when we would get home.
Our car was the best. We played like Mad Libs, and we played the alphabet game, and we listened to music and chatted about stuff all over the place, like deep stuff, normal stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she had the fun car.
Well, because we had
they probably had the whole stash of games in your car.
we had no, it was all on David's phone.
Oh my gosh.
Our friend David
Of course.
was in our car, and he's like he's like a super extrovert, self-admitted super extrovert, and he was like looking on his phone to see if there were any good games and stuff. Our driver was a trooper.
Bless
He
his
drove
heart.
the entire time, and he was driving a stick.
He was driving a stick? No! I did not know that about his car. Well, I told Nick, I was like, basically, any of us could drive for you if you want. I didn't think of asking him if it was manual or not.
Well, his is a hybrid. I don't know if they make hybrids.
This is a hybrid? His is a junker car.
I know! I know it's a hybrid because David told me. I don't know it
His junker car is a hybrid! So, epic funness last weekend, and it's obviously made it onto our want to do every year as long as they continue doing it. And I wish they did it more than once a year, but obviously they can't because we have kind of wretched weather the rest of the year.
Can't camp
In the
on
rain.
Christmas break.
I know. I think that was all the stuff we wanted to talk about on our chill couch episode.
And let us know whose pizza's better.
Mine, obviously.
Or
even though it doesn't look like it.
whose you would rather eat.
And you can always take the Brussels sprouts off of mine. It'd still be better.
Hope you enjoyed that.
That's it.
Do all
folks.
the stuff. I'm not gonna be okay. Subscribe, like, social media.
Notifications.
Notifications.
If any of those are your cup of tea, then do it. If you're
Please.
feeling generous, if we've
We're
earned
like
your
almost to 30
subscription.
subscribers.
I know, it's very
Whoop,
exciting.
whoop. Most of them are our friends from
The chat. See you next Monday.
Yes.
Bye.